is how easy it is to make kefir. We're going to put in 250 mils organic Jersey milk. Then you've got your milk premix, blend of colostrum, whey protein, and inulin. Inulin is a prebiotic, so that helps the bacteria to grow. Then your grains. And you keep a lid on. Probiotics in kefir are anaerobic, meaning they don't like oxygen. So what I'm trying to do is encourage the probiotics to be more potent. So then you leave this for 24 hours, depending on which part of the world you live in. If you live in a very warm climate, this might take you 12 hours. Some of my Queensland customers will be done in 12 hours. In Victoria, now it's getting into winter, it's a bit colder. It might take you 24, it might take you 48. But remember, these are like taking pets home. They take a while to acclimatize to their environment. They'll suss out, what's the oxygen like? What's the temperature like? Because what happens if they're unhappy or stressed, they go into a dormant sleep state. They actually form a shell around them and literally go to sleep. And that's what a lot of people will say, well, these grains are not working or they're a bit sluggish or something like that. That's because they're shocked. So you just need to give them some time, let them get comfortable to the new environment, the oxygen, the temperature. Then once they're happy, you're going to be contacting me and asking me what to do with your bucket load of grains. I get that call all the time.
If you wrap it in a blanket, does that make a difference?
That's a good question.
Or put it in warm water?
That's a good question. I mean, I wouldn't recommend the water or water baths or yogurt makers or anything like that, because I think that there's something with the natural fluctuation of temperature through the day that produces a very nice tasting kefir. The optimum temperature would be around 18 to 20. If you try and keep it very consistent, which I've tried before, it's not quite right. It's a natural product. It works with the rhythms of nature, and I recommend you also stick to that. But the best thing about kefir is making it in winter. It is the best tasting product. I don't understand why, but it just tastes better in winter. It might be a little bit slower, but it tastes better. When you make kefir every day, it's a tedious process. It's every 24 hours. That's why we love this product. And it's got an airlock built in the top, and it's got a strainer built in the top. So literally all you have to do is you're rushing to work in the morning, you want your little tot of probiotic, you just open the lid and you just pour it out. It's so much more simple. And you don't need to strain. You only need to probably wash it out once a week, because it will get a little bit grotty. But it's ready in 24 hours. Once you strain it, that'll be fine for around 2 weeks. You just top up. It's got the line there, so that's a 250 line. So you just have to keep topping up. So once you use it, you just top up.
So how much should you be drinking every day?
Yep, you work your way up to 250 mils, so one batch a day.
So if I want to make 2 cups in there, I'll just add twice the amount of the grains in
Yep.
and I'll have 2 cups.
Exactly. Okay. Yes. So if you're going to make bigger batches, just try and keep the ratios the same.
Yep.
How do you know when it's ready? So, okay.
Have some thick around the it's very thick on top.
That's it. It's a good indicator. When it's gone to its maximum fermentation, the curds and whey will split. So what will happen is you'll get a water layer on the bottom. The proteins in the milk, the whey proteins, will separate. So you'll get whey on the bottom, curds on the top, which is still fine. You can still consume it at that point. But I personally like my kefir just before it hits that point where it's still together. It hasn't quite hit that pH yet. But my recommendation is taste it, because each palate is different. Some people like it a bit sour, some people like it sweeter. Work out what works for you. What's your palate? As long as the grains are acidifying, you know the lactic acid bacteria are present and the product is safe. If milk spoils, you will know. Has anybody smelled spoiled milk? It goes putrid. So it's pretty obvious if milk spoils. And I've never seen a batch of kefir spoil in my whole 7 years of consuming kefir. It's just got too much bacteria in it. to allow any mold or yeast or anything like or bad yeast and stuff to grow.
So what do you do if you go away? You're not going to be making it for a while.
Yep, that's another good question. You've got options. You can dehydrate the grain in a dehydrator, or you can freeze the grain. Generally, I'm feeling if you're going away for 2 weeks, put it in the fridge, just with some milk, and leave it. It'll be fine. It'll just go to sleep. Just be mindful when you're putting it through a hibernation process like fridge, freezing, dehydration. It might take a while for the grains to come back to original potency.
Does that apply if you're only going away for a couple of days, or does it need to be weeks?
I think if you're going up, say 2 weeks, put it in the fridge and milk. A few days, just leave it in your kefir maker. It'll be fine. It might go a little bit too sour, but you can blend it with milk or something. It's fine. Or honey. Yeah. Sure.
Who's else you said you put it in the fridge for your 2 weeks or whatever, and then you come back, it's going to be sleepy or dormant. How will it sort of, wake up again? Is that just by doing a few batches?
Yep, it just takes time. So when they become dormant, they form this endocarp. It's called an endocarp. It's like a shell around it. So it's only till the grains then feel safe, like the temperature's right, they've got the proper amount of food or lactose from the milk, that they gradually start to break the endocarp. Once the endocarp is broken, then the cells will revert back to the original lactobacilli, which is like a rod shape. It just takes time.
And how will you know that?
You'll see that it will start to sour. It'll start to sour. That's the key thing, because lactose, which is the sugar in milk, is being converted to lactic acid. If it's not souring, that's because the grains are inactive. That's how you know.